And the month of May is where it all comes down to. That's especially true for water polo. In this edition of Water Polo World, the Women's Champions League Final Four review, the Men's Champions League Final Four preview, the Euro Cup final, and we take a look on some future stars of water polo in Dubrovnik. Another season of the Water Polo Champions League is coming close to the end. What is left is the final showdown that is going to happen in Valletta, Malta again. For the second year in a row, 4 of the best European water polo clubs are coming to Malta to decide the champion. This year it's Ferencváros, Novi Beograd, Barceloneta and Marseille, the chosen 4 that will fight for the title. The semi-finals are scheduled for May the 30th. Novi Beograd plays against Barceloneta and Ferencváros against Marseille. The third place match and the final will be on the 1st of June. This is Novi Beograd's 4th consecutive final tournament appearance. After 2 losses in 2022 and 2023, they were 4th last year. This was definitely not expected from Novi Beograd. A lot of first-team players left Novi Beograd last year, but Živko Gorčić managed to steer Novi Beograd to a very successful season, losing only once in the process. That loss came from Marseille, with whom they were fighting for first place until the last round. What to expect from Novi Beograd in Malta? A fierce battle, that is for sure. They have proven this club can play against anybody.
I am very glad to be a part and to be the head coach of this team, and very proud of my players and my staff and my club. We made great big changes, but still we are in top 4 teams in Europe. Barceloneta is, what can I say about them? It's a very good team, made of mostly Spanish national team players. Very experienced team with 2 Hungarian foreigners, similar like we are. Let's say maybe a little bit more experienced than we are, but I expect a really tough game. It's going to be tough for us for sure, but maybe even tougher for Barceloneta.
Their opponent in the semi-final is not anybody. Barceloneta was not in the Final Four last year, but this is their 9th appearance in the final tournament in the last 11 years. They're also the only one that had managed to beat Ferencváros this season. That happened in the quarter-final stage, round 4. After penalties, Barceloneta won 13-12. Elvis Vatovic has a very interesting team, with several members of the Spanish national team with a couple of Hungarians as spice. Felipe Peroni is still leading the team, for these 2 matches at least. The legendary Brazilian finishes his illustrious career after this Final Four. The Catalans are a dangerous opponent, excellent swimmers with several dangerous outside shooters. In defence, they'll rely on Unai Aguirre, the Spanish national team first goalkeeper. Ferencváros is coming to the Talkerok pool as the defender of the title. The squad, led by Balázsnyaki, is in great form and has been the entire season. A few days ago, they successfully defended their Hungarian title against Vasas, a 4th consecutive title, 27 in total. This makes them the most decorated water polo club in Hungary, with 1 title more than Újpest. This season's score is impressive, 46 wins and only 1 loss to Barceloneta. Ferencváros is the main favourite in this edition of the Champions League Final Four. The squad, filled with international stars, led by Dusan Mandic, Agriopoulos, Dusoma and others, are aiming for the top in their 6th consecutive appearance in the final tournament. Their opponent in the semi-final is there for the first time in history. Marseille was in the Final Four tournaments, just never in the Final Four. The French champions played a very good Champions League season. After they won the 2nd place in the group behind Barceloneta, Marseille was very good in the quarter-final stage, beating everybody at home with a very convincing win in split against Jadran. They are the definite outsider against Ferencváros, but a team that has Verno, Perlenovic and Bodegas can create problems against anybody.
It's an amazing achievement for us we worked a lot in the previous seasons also to build a competitive team to play against best European teams, and I think we well deserve this qualifications, or how to say it, but it's really big achievement. It's close to one trophy in the season, and yes, I'm very enthusiastic and very satisfied and proud of on the team on all season, and especially how we play in this second part of the top eight phases.
Tickets to Malta have been distributed. The Final Four showdown of this season's best European teams is eagerly awaited. Water Polo World will of course be there. The next edition brings a detailed report on everything that will happen in Malta. This year, Europe's second strongest water polo competition has a different format. Instead of a Final Four, it's played the old way, 2 matches home and away. Radnički and Proreco met in the first final match in Kragujevac on May the 10th. The new regional league champions Radnički came into this match hoping for the win that they've been waiting for 11 years against Proreco. The team led by Uroš Stevanovic came into this match in good form, beating Jug, Brescia and Mladost on the road to the final. Add a win against Novi Beograd in the first match of the Serbian Championship final, and the optimism was well founded, especially as Proreco is on the level it was for years after changes in ownership last summer. The Italians are also in the final series of their own, fighting with Brescia for the Italian title. Radnički started well in this game. After 2 home goals, Canella scores first for the Italians in the 5th minute. Soon it's 2-2 after Di Fulvio's goal. The hosts responded with 2 goals of their own, and after the first quarter, it's 4-2 for Radnički. Piedlovic scores in the first possession of the second quarter, and that was the largest Radnički led in this game. Proreco responded with ironclad defence on one end and 3 power play goals on the other. Before the end of the first, Proreco is leading. Aoki Grata scores with another man-up attack. Radnički had problems in attack. More than 8 minutes passed between their 6th and 7th goal. Rajcevic was precise for 7-7. Proreco goes on a rampage. Another 3-0 series gives them a 10-7 lead. It was Aoki Grata again with an extra player. In the last attack of the third quarter, Rajcevic scores 11 seconds before the end. Reco have a 2-goal advantage before the last 8 minutes. The first to score in the last quarter is Proreco. Duric was left alone and the Slovakian uses the opportunity. It's 8-11 for the Italians. But Radnički was not finished. Veliko Dadvani scores twice in 26 seconds, and it's only a 1-goal advantage for the guests. It was not enough to stop Proreco. Francesco Di Fulvio then leads his team to victory with 3 goals in the last 4.5 minutes of the match. Nikola Jakšić managed to reduce the advantage to 12-15 from a penalty spot, but Di Fulvio finishes the match with his 5th and final goal of the match for a convincing 12-16 victory. And a 4-goal advantage before the return match that is going to be played in Sori on the 24th of May. Di Fulvio with 5 goals, Aoki Grata with 3 led Proreco to victory, Jakšić and Rajcevic with 3 led Radnički. From the stars of today to the stars of tomorrow. In the world of water polo, Dubrovnik, Croatia is known as one of the main water polo centres. A city of around 42,000 inhabitants is home to one of the legendary water polo clubs, Jug. In its long history, the club was founded in 1923 and it has one of many titles, including 4 Champions Leagues, 2 Euro Cups, 5 regional leagues, 17 Croatian and 22 Yugoslav championships. All that mainly relying on homegrown players. One of the legendary trainers from Dubrovnik was Tomo Udovicic. From 2011, in his honour, Jug organises youth water polo tournaments. This year was no different. The tournament is organised in 2 age groups, under 12 and under 14. More than 1,000 players from 62 teams from Europe, Asia and for the first time Africa came to Cluj Pool to test their abilities.
My name is Hisham Nashat. I play in New Giza. I'm from Egypt. I'm so happy for this trophy, and I have to thank my team. And that's it.
After 7 days of fierce competition, it was time for the finals. In the under-12 group, Mladost Zagreb and Marseille were in the final. The team from the Croatian capital took the lead in the first quarter and kept it until the end of the match that finished with 10-6 of a win for the Croatians. Mladost was led by Mihail Katic, who scored 7 out of 10 goals for his team. Mladost took first place, Marseille was second. Third was the Italian Roma Visnova that beat the Greeks Iolopolis. In the under-14 group, Kavtat won the bronze medal match against Novi Beograd. Great success for a club from a small coastal town near Dubrovnik. The final was a Croatian duel of Jug and Mladost, 2 of the most decorated Croatian clubs. In this final, victory also went to Zagreb. Mladost beat Jug 13-5. A deserved victory for the team, led by former Croatian national team member Ratko Šretov. That was the end of another Tomo tournament, one of the largest water polo youth tournaments in the world.
Hello, my name is Jay Tahir and I'm from France. I like here because it's an honor for me to be in this legendary pool. My results are a little good, but we can do better.
Surely some of the boys we saw in Dubrovnik during these 7 days of competition will become a new Peroni, Sukno or Ivovic. Only time will tell. Piraeus, 4 clubs, 1 trophy, and 1 stage set for drama. In a tournament dominated for years by Sabadell and Olympiakos, this time the script flipped. Welcome to the European Aquatics Women's Champions League Final 4 tournament. Some call it the final before the final. A heavyweight clash in the first semi-final, the mighty Greek side versus the reigning queens of Europe. Olympiakos, tournament host for the first time since 2022, fueled by the weight of history, with only one mission, lifting the Champions League trophy in the club's centenary year for the 4th time. Meanwhile, Sabadell, the Spanish side, chase legacy. A record equalling 8th crown, a chance to stand shoulder to shoulder with Orizzonte Catania as the most decorated club in Champions League history. Recent history favoured the hosts. In 6 of the last 7 editions, the home team lifted the trophy. Would Olympiakos make it 7 out of 8? Sabadell had the script with a different endgame in mind. One of the best atmospheres women's water polo has ever seen. But the Spanish side refused to hand over their crown. It was a tightly contested match, with momentum swinging back and forth throughout the game. The final 3 minutes held the key to deciding yet another thrilling final. The match turning point. With the score tied at 13-13, Sabadell fired in 2 consecutive goals to tip the balance. A special mention goes to the Dutch dynamo Simone van der Kraats, 5 goals to her name, each more thunderous than the last. And just when it mattered the most, she came up with the steal that sparked the decisive double strike. Sabadell's 4th final in a row. Their 10th appearance in the last 12 editions, and now the chance to go back to back to back, a chance for a three-peat. Only one team has ever done that. Talking about legacy, Sabadell is writing theirs, 1 chapter at a time. A well-deserved standing ovation for the home side, their first defeat in the Champions League this season. yet a performance full of heart and defiance. The second semi-final brought a different kind of showdown, two rising forces eyeing the same prize. Sant Andreu, the breakout team from last season, already knew how the Final Four felt. Bronze in their debut? A statement made. Ferencváros, meanwhile, stepped into their first ever Final Four appearance, hungry with everything to gain. A quick rewind. Unlike the previous semi-finalists, both Sant Andreu and Ferencváros had to play the qualification round at the start of their European path this season. Yep, right here in Athens, it's where their story started. So they were no stranger to this pool whatsoever, nor to each other, as they were drawn in the same group. Is there a better way to avenge your only Champions League defeat of the season than doing it at the very same venue 7 months later on the grand stage of the semi-finals? No, we didn't think so either. Back in October, it was 9-8 in favour of Ferencváros. This time, Sant Andreu flipped the script, 10-7 and a ticket to the final. The Hungarian side took an early lead with Greta Kuroc-Guritsati's goal, but that was the only time they were ahead. From that moment on, it was all Sant Andreu. The Spanish team built a comfortable lead and held firm, though it was put to the test late in the game. Ferencváros clawed back to make it 8-7 in the final quarter, threatening a dramatic comeback. But Sant Andreu had one more push in them. Two unanswered goals in the last 2 minutes sealed the deal and restored their 3-goal cushion. Sweet revenge, delivered with style. And with that, the stage was set. From Athens to the top of Europe, only one team could stand tallest. An all-Spanish final was on, but before we dive into that, the bronze medal match was on the menu. Olympiacos was determined to claim the consolation prize. The shine of the bronze may be dimmer than gold, but the hosts were determined to make it gleam, and they set the tone from the opening whistle. Just 2.5 minutes in, the scoreboard already read 4-1. It was déjà vu for Ferencváros. Much like their semi-final, they struck first, only to see the opposition rattle off 4 unanswered goals. The Hungarians tried to produce a response, cutting the gap to 5-3 early in the second, but 2 long-range strikes from Vasiliki Plevritou and Abi Andrews restored control for the Greeks. At one point, the control meant +6 in favour of the competition's hosts. The medal was sealed before the final quarter even began. Olympiacos was simply too much to handle. So was Vasiliki Plevritou, who had a game to remember, scoring 7 goals. One of the Plevritou sisters, well, alongside the captain Margarita, one of 2 playing for the Greek side, Eleftheria, was under the Hungarian's club's cap.
It's great because after our yesterday match, that it was not the result we wanted. We ended up having a completely different approach to the game, and we got the 3rd position, which is important, and it gives us a boost for the upcoming games. I had a good game. I was feeling okay in the water, and I had a few free chances to score, and I took these chances.
A commanding win for Olympiacos, worthy of the 3rd place, 18-11. Moving on to the gold medal match. Another all-Spanish showdown after 2023, when Sabadell downed Mataró. Sant Andreu had already dethroned Sabadell in the Spanish Cup, but this was different. This was the Champions League final. The biggest match in Sant Andreu's history, and early on it looked like a dream might slip away. Sabadell's Van der Kraats made sure the reigning champions were firmly in control right from the start with her hat-trick. Sant Andreu answered with their first goal, scored after 5 minutes of the match, and through it they were constantly trying to keep up. On 3 occasions by the end of the 3rd quarter, they came close to levelling the score. Speaking of number 3 as a leitmotif, Sabadell also had 3 occasions in which they had a +3 advantage. Sant Andreu lacked the final step. No matter what they tried or how hard they pushed, the scale wouldn't tip their way. Until it did. 8 minutes of the match remaining, 8-6 became 8-8. While Sabadell couldn't find a solution with their power plays, their opponents used the opportunity to fight back from their attacks that followed. 19 seconds left, the last chance with an extra player as well. Time out for Sant Andreu. With 2.4 seconds left, a type of shot you replay in slow motion over and over again. Geralt Altons sure did. Chaos in front of the goal. Somehow Anton got the ball and buried it into Laura Art's net from distance. The hero of the match, 9-8. It was the first time they took the lead in the whole game. Just when it mattered the most, the job was done in one of the most dramatic endings the Champions League has ever seen. La remontada, as the Spaniards would say. A 3-0 run in the last 3 minutes. Cue tears, screams, disbelief. History was made. Sabadell was knocked off their throne. The underdogs became legends in only their second Final Four appearance. A fairy tale ending, Sant Andreu, champions of Europe.
Bueno, pienso que ha sido un partido que hemos dominado hasta el cuarto. Quizá nos ha penalizado la falta de acierto en la superioridad numérica y ellas han sabido jugar mejor los momentos finales, hemos precipitado y hemos acabado perdiendo el partido.
We dominated the game until the last quarter, but then we didn't score in the 6-on-5 situation, and this is very important in these moments.
Bueno, ha faltado jugar un poquito más tranquilas, agotar más la posesión en el ataque y no precipitar. Al final hemos llegado, cuando ellas han ajustado el partido y cuando se ha empatado hemos precipitado mucho, teníamos ansiedad en ataque y eso nos ha hecho perder hoy.
We needed to play with more mind, controlling more the game, and this is what it makes us lose this game.
Estoy todavía que no me lo creo. Ha sido increíble, sobre todo por cómo hemos acabado el último cuarto. Ha sido muy bonito y a la vez muy sufrido, pero muy contento por las jugadoras y por el club.
I can't believe it. For the last quarter and all the match, it was. I was suffering all the time, but yeah, I'm so happy right now.
Well, honestly, we were up with 2 goals, 8-6, and after we finished at 8-9, and at the moment I don't understand what happened. Like, the goals went so quick and we played like almost, not anxious, but very carefully. And I think that this is the mistake we made. We have so much quality, so much experience in the team, but we still need to play water polo. Otherwise, this team is going to try to make some goals, and it worked out. So, yeah, the only thing I can say is angry, not still proud of my team, but yeah, I really wanted to win this one.
Estamos muy unidas, siempre vamos a por una, somos una familia prácticamente y eso se nota en los momentos difíciles, siempre hay una compañera al lado que te da una palabra de ánimo o te da un empujón y aunque hemos tenido algunos momentos difíciles durante el partido, no nos hemos rendido.
It was difficult today to make goals, I think, and our coach was saying like, try, they are gonna finally come, and in the final quarter they come finally and we can win that game. I don't know, we are so happy. She's the best, she's the MVP of the final. Finally she made goals and I'm so happy.
We've run out of time for this episode, but be sure to join us next month when we go behind the scenes of the Water Polo Champions League in Malta. We'll see you next time.